It's the end of 2020. We made it through. Except ain't it annoying when people are like talking like that? Because it's like, you know it's going to continue. You know that what we're experiencing currently is the knock-on effects from centuries, decades, years and years of oppression and capitalistic greed coming to a head. What's going to change in 2021? What's gonna change? Hello. Greetings, long time no speak. Let's hope for a good new year. I hope COVID will cease. But who knows what, there'll just be another virus, won't there? Like, let's be real. In like maybe 5-10 years, there's just gonna be another virus. And then what are we gonna do? We need better infrastructure. We need more socialist governmental bodies around the world. If we've got enough resources to look after everyone, let's just do it, huh? Let's figure out how to do it. Instead of just like running full tilt, pushing people out your way to get to the end. Where are you running to? Death? So Last of Us 2. I'm recording this video and I haven't even finished the drawing. What's happening right now is a surprise to me. I'm not sure. Actually, that's probably not true. We're quite early on in the video. I've basically drawn a layout. I did a sketch. I've blocked in a few weird shapes that I'm not 100% happy with. They're probably going to change a bit. But I haven't even done this drawing. I haven't done the drawing that I'm going to be talking about. What's the point in me recording this video? Some of you are like, oh, but I want him to talk about his techniques. I want him to talk about how he's working and what he found out during this video and drawing. But I'm not going to talk about that. I just can't. No, it's not going to happen, is it? But fingers crossed it's okay, because at the moment I'm looking at it and I'm not entirely liking what I've done. One of my favourite shots and images in Last of Us is just like the shots of the road with just loads of grass and foliage and plants have just overgrown the whole sort of road. Very, very I Am Legend. Good film, that. Enjoyable. Fun little Will Smith film. Anyway, we're not talking about I Am Legend, we're talking about Last of Us. Lots of hullabaloo with Last of Us 2. We're talking about crunch, we're talking about online hate, we're talking about fandoms, we're talking about characters, we're talking about all sorts. So I'm just going to be yet another person adding on my 2 cents. I suppose I should say, I guess, like minor spoilers / not really spoilers, because I'm not going to, I guess, explicitly talk about stuff that happens, but because I'm just going to talk about what I think of some of the characters. If you haven't found out already, you know, I feel like maybe you shouldn't carry on watching, but if you don't care about spoilers, I don't know, whatever you want to do. Last of Us 2 is a great game. Amazing game, fun game, enjoyed it. Last of Us 1 is really cool. I love both of them. They're great games. The combat exploration and like just the world, very fun. Fun to play. I love stealth games, so I love stealthing it about, using bow and arrow, crossbow. It's cool. It's fun. Visually, very, very like just amazing as well. It's great. All of it's good. I enjoyed all of it. I feel like it's quite hard to critique certain characters in Last of Us 2 without sounding like you're some of the lamer fans. Basically, I feel like certain aspects of the game and even real people, like some of the makers of the game, got a lot of hate from a big, gross section of the gaming community that were just pretty like sexist and gross and gamergatey. So I'm like, I find it hard. I've got to like distance myself from that idea, because I got no issue with Abby, really. Fundamentally, the idea of making a villain character and then forcing you to play as the villain to talk about like, oh, who's the bad guys? Everyone's got a bad guy. Whoever you're killing, we're all killing people. Revenge is bad. That's the kind of like the general message of the game. So the thing that Last of Us 2 did was it it had the character that you love and know, Ellie, going up against Abby, who is essentially like the villain of the game, but you also play as the villain. I feel like they literally tried to make them the most opposite that they could do, not even like visually, aesthetically or whatever, but also just like personality wise. When you think about some of the some of the sort of story beats and like the types of characters that they are, you know, you've got this like really like muscly, strong, kind of scary, intimidating, kind of quiet person, and then you've got like a skinny loudmouth in a way. Ellie's kind of like punk, whereas Abby gives off such strong energy of like, it almost like, I want to say like, she follows the rules, she doesn't do anything, like she's very like strict almost, she's like regimented, almost like military and stuff like that. So there's like even personality opposites. So let's cut to the chase. Early on in the game, you go through a few, I think you go through a few little missions, a few little like chapters, and then Abby appears, and Abby murders Joel in front of you, and that triggers, and then they leave, and that triggers Ellie to just want to seek revenge. Joel is dead, everyone's favourite character, sad dad Joel. Then, after going all this way for seeking revenge, they try and question Ellie, like, oh, look how many people you're killing in your hunt for revenge, like, blah, blah, blah. And then they force you to play as Abby. The idea is you're meant to like learn about her character, learn about her story, learn about where she came from. You know, part of the story is that Abby is linked to the first game where Joel killed everyone in the Fireflies camp. You know, Joel killed her dad, so that's why she wanted revenge. And you're meant to feel like, you know, learn about a story and feel sympathy and then enjoy playing as her. It just doesn't work. It really doesn't work. It's because you play as her. That's what doesn't work. You playing as Abby doesn't work. That's my beef with it. I don't actually have that much beef with the idea and concept of Abby, even everything that they did. But she just gives off such strong... She's just not likable in any way, and it's crazy to me that there are so many people and fans of Last of Us 2. I love Last of Us 2. It's like one of my favourite games I play. Last of Us is great. So good. But Abby's a rubbish character. I don't want to play as her at all. She does one nice thing. Like, essentially, the whole plot is finding out that Abby's dad died, and then she joins this, like, kind of regimented colony of people living in a stadium that are at war with a cult, right? So there's a crazy like religious cult and they're at war with them. I mean, does everyone overlook the fact that that Abby comes from a place where they've got prisoners that they torture in like a prison down in the stadium, you know, and she's totally fine with that and she wants to beat them up. She's a fucking fascist, and she does one nice thing for like 2 kids that she meets and she feels sorry for. And we're meant to just think, oh, Abby's a really nice person. Oh, she's just misunderstood. And they make you play as Ellie, like killing people, like how all video games do. That's just how video games work. We're playing in a post-apocalyptic action game. We're going to kill people. Because then you could just make the argument that every single person that Abby and Ellie kill in the game could have their own spin-off game where their friends and family are the main characters. And we could go on endlessly. And I get that that's kind of like the point, that we're all people and we're all fighting in this apocalyptic world. And there are zombies and, you know, killing's bad. But it doesn't work when you force the player to literally move the controller and press the buttons to be the character that killed one of your favorite characters, one of the main characters. You make a character kill that main character, that's it, I don't care. So now you're making me watch this whole story of this person I don't care about, and it's like such a coin flip. It's such a 50-50 chance of whether you're actually going to make me care. And I just feel like she was so wooden, she was so boring. Every character she was surrounded by was so, like, such wet blankets. They had no personality. Owen couldn't give a shit. You know, Manny, like a misogynist. They were all so lame. The single moment where I rooted for Abby, the one moment where I was like, right, cool, yeah, at least in this scene I can root for you, Abby, was right at towards the end. One of the kids that Abby helps shoots the leader of Abby's society, little clan. And I was like, cool. Also, but I also separate it. It's fun to play as Abby. It's fun to play the game. Like, it doesn't really matter what character I'm playing as. The game itself is fun. Abby sucks because it turned every scene kind of a bit comical. You know? Like, every scene after that, when you have to play as her, I'm just like, right, okay, so I don't care. Like, because everything is like trying to hit you over the head with it. It's like, oh, look, here's the dog that you killed as Ellie. Oh, look, that woman that you killed as Ellie was pregnant. Oh, look, that person that you killed as Ellie was her boyfriend or ex-boyfriend. And it's like, what are you trying to make me feel about Ellie? Oh no, she's not as good as I thought. And it's still a good story, but by making me play as Abby, I'm just like, it's annoying because it just makes you not enjoy the story. But so you're like, it feels like you're like, oh, okay, now I have to do this even though I don't want to. I don't know. I've rambled on for too long now. And only Last of Us mega fans will understand what I'm trying to say, really. So I'm sorry for everyone else who haven't played it. It would have been better if you played as Abby for a big chunk and you thought she was really good. And then slowly you're like, oh shit, she wants revenge. And then she kills Joel. Because then it's like, oh god, I've been playing as this character that I liked. And now I have to kill Joel. But then it's like, the way they do it is like, great, now I have to play as a character I don't like. Oh, I've really learnt my lesson about being Ellie or being Joel. They're still way better characters. But you know what? I did really like that very end. There's a bit of a time skip. You go back to playing as Ellie. And there's just a cool bit that almost feels, story-wise, it feels a little bit like the last season of Breaking Bad. You've gone through this whole journey, and you know some of the villain characters are defeated, and then it tails off a little bit, but then they introduce like a finale group of villains. You know what I mean? It's just, I don't know how to explain it, but it gave me like Breaking Bad vibes. I feel like they do a bit of the opposite. They know what they've done, so they then, right at the end, they give you like very obviously super evil, normal enemies to kill, because you're like, ugh, these guys I don't need to care about. I'll just get rid of them. Anywho, I wonder how this pixel art turned out. I feel like I didn't adequately explain like my opinion and explain the story correctly. I still enjoyed the game. It was a great game, fun game. I'm looking forward to. I'm still playing Mario Odyssey, but also I'm looking forward to start getting Ghost of Tsushima, because I think that's going to be next on my list. Yeah, it's the end of 2020. 2021 is on its way. I shouldn't jinx it by saying this, but I'm hoping that there's going to be some new things coming. I feel like I'm going to do a little bit of an update to my channel. Hopefully, I'm going to get my shit together for an online shop. And also, I've had a few little commission inquiries, so that's cool. Who knows whether that will happen or not? Yeah, that's about it. I need to now do this drawing. I hope it looks good. Oh yeah, and also I've been making a little comic. I've made a new comic. It's out. It's called From Nowhere. The link will be down below to the Instagram, but it's just a sort of like little chill comic for me to do and draw that I'm finding really enjoyable. And it's like good practice of writing. It's good practice to like do panel structure and joke writing. It's going good. It's fun. You know, I feel like I've seen a lot around on the internet of people saying that they're a bit burnt out and that, you know, the holiday times are kind of lame for doing work. Nobody feels that inspired, I feel. I don't know. And everyone feels just a bit tired. I mean, obviously we've had like coronavirus lockdown year, so everyone's feeling shit anyway. But on top of that, I just feel like year's coming to an end. There's always like a weird, like, tired, bittersweet feeling. Just got to power through. But I'm sort of going easy on myself, you know. I'm taking it easy. And the comic is something that I'm actually enjoying doing. That was why I was saying that. The comic is something that I'm like actually interested and inspired to do. So that's good. That's like gotten me out of a funk of not doing much work. I really appreciate you being here. It's slow and steady. I get like a couple of subscribers every day. Slow and steady, we're making it. We're getting by. I hope you are too. I really appreciate you watching this little video. It was a long rant of just sort of words that I feel like I'm worried don't mean anything. I'm worried that what I said about Last of Us 2 is unintelligible. This is The Last of Us, but it's not the last of you'll be seeing of me. Fun. Happy New Year! If the apocalypse comes, it won't be like Last of Us. There will not be zombies. We will not be killing each other in the streets, alright? It will be a socialist uprising, mark my words. The only enemy will be the state. I don't know what I'm saying anymore. Goodbye, farewell, thanks for watching, thanks for being here. I appreciate you greatly. I'll see you soon. Goodbye!
Everybody's gotta live, and everybody's gonna die.